For our United Way Spotlight of the Week, I'm joined by Katherine Cooper and Joanne Brady, and you're from Pathways to Education.
That's right.
And we've talked before, but fill us in on what exactly Pathways to Education is.
So Pathways to Education is a unique community program that's run out of KCHC, the health center at Weller Avenue, and we serve high school students from grade 9 throughout their high school years to support them through education with the goal of achieving post-secondary or meaningful employment or working in a skilled trade.
But why aren't they just in high school?
Well, students struggle if they are on their own and not seeing education as the key element that it is to their futures, to their health, to their social and economic independence. And they need help, tutoring support, mentoring support to get them through those teenage years also in high school.
So these are people that just don't quite fit into the regular stream. Is that fair?
So we serve high school students within our catchment area, which encompasses Inner Harbor as well as Rideau Heights. So our students go to KSS as well as Regi, and a couple of different education streams too, but we focus on the catchment area, so where they live, and that is how we determine what students are in our program. And we offer a variety of supports. So in addition to education, we also have the financial support to help address food security in our neighborhood and one-on-one mentorship with one of our grad connectors.
Okay, so they're students, and are they all teenagers, or do you have people who have been out of school for a while who come back? And I'll ask you.
Well, typically it's the young high school age students. Back in 2010, when the program first started here, it was the result of a needs assessment that was done in that area that demonstrated that there was a lowest high school completion rate, the highest dropout rate in Kingston, and among the lowest income people in Kingston. And the director then, Hirsch Sadev of the Community Health Center, who wanted all things to bolster health and education being such a prime social determinant of health, she sought out Pathways Canada to open a site in Kingston.
Okay, so what is the common, if lower education means not as healthy, is that?
Well, lower education leads to lack of employment, less healthy lifestyles, poverty. Poverty is the key here, and Pathways' motto is to break the cycle of poverty. And so people who do not have the means to support themselves and eat well and live well need that education to get ahead.
So it's like a downward spiral, and one thing leads to another, and is that?
That's right. That's
okay.
right. So education is directly associated with health. So people who are educated and then can earn income through higher education, healthier lifestyles, food security. These are the things that are attached to educated population. And it's not just high school, it's now trying to move those students forward from high school as well. But some of us find it difficult to think, what if we didn't have a high school, if we never completed high school? We can't even imagine it.
Anymore, because it really, that's a basic, is having a high school education to get any job is number one, and when you don't have that, so they go to a regular high school, and then you offer the mentoring and the tutoring to keep them going to that high school, so they have some success, and then and they've got enough money to put some food on the table.
Absolutely. So we offer programming after school from 3 to 6, 3 nights a week, 2 of which of the evenings are at our Weller location, and the other one is actually operating straight out of Regi on Wednesdays. And that's definitely a big part of that one-on-one tutoring and having that academic support. But we also offer a variety of programs, including a climate resilience program where they do more fun, hands-on activities related to environmental science. And we just have a very holistic approach to learning. So finding ways to engage students and keeping them excited about learning is very important. And one of your other questions mentioned if it stops at high school, we actually also do support students after they've graduated from our program.
Oh.
And that is through our FAR program, which is the Facilitator of Alumni Relations. So that's to support our high school graduates once they've moved on to navigate the difficult transition to post-secondary education or meaningful employment. And that program has also been supported by the United Way.
That's wonderful, because anymore, basic is high school, but now but something has to come afterwards.
That's correct.
Now, are they all post-secondary, like do they all go on to Queens, or do they go into various trades and types of employment?
That's a big yes
Okay.
to all of those. So they move forward, and a lot of our students go to post-secondary locally, St. Lawrence College and Queen's University, into trades locally. But some of them also move further afield, and they don't have the support of, their parents are supportive of them, but don't have the experience to help them. And we found that our first graduating cohort was 2014, and of those who went off to post-secondary, we only had a 36% persistence rate. They typically were local, didn't live in residence because they couldn't afford it. As one of our champions said, I didn't do orientation week because it cost $150. I thought it was all about partying. But actually, it's about learning about academic regulations, financing available, student assistance, and not knowing where to turn. These students weren't successful.
Okay.
And that's when we realized it's like a lot of programs where you kind of age out of support and fall off that cliff.
Okay.
So we created this extension to be able to support students as they go on that journey. And it has been very successful. And our persistence rates went up well over 80%. And we have college and university graduates now. And interestingly, they almost all give back in one way, shape, or form to the program.
What a great idea. You don't think about that you think once you got that high school diploma, you got a major golden, but you're not. There's still more to happen. And tell me about your best success story.
A really excellent success story involves one of our employees at the moment. So Logan was part of the first graduating cohort, and he now works with our team full-time. Working in 2 programs, one of which is FAR. He is our Facilitator of Alumni Relations, and he also is a researcher for us to help us secure some statistics about why our program works, how it works, and how we can continue to be successful while also being innovative.
But he was one of those students who wasn't successful. He went to Queen's and took math because he liked math in high school, and very quickly felt just totally overwhelmed. And he went back each day, didn't live in residence, to his hood and his friends who thought he was lame to go for tutoring after high school in the first place. And so he was not successful and didn't complete, and then was able, with some support from Pathways, starting this, we've got to continue to help these kids. Went to St. Lawrence College and was successful with a diploma there, and then went back to Queen's and graduated this year.
Wow. What a great story. That's amazing. But you get into another point, and that is the peer pressure that goes along. How do you counter that?
That's a great question. We actually have been kind of working with that within our program so that students focus on supporting each other more so. So I would say one of the biggest ways we're doing that is our peer leadership program. So that group is students from grade 9 all the way to 12, and they help us in planning some of our fun events throughout the year. And it really demonstrates leadership, but it also sets a precedent to some of our younger students about this is how you can give back, this is how you can be helpful to the team and all these people that care about you and want you to have fun. So they plan things like our Halloween party, our annual holiday party, and they have a very big role. We are kind of just the checkoff point, but they do all of the planning themselves and set a really great example for the younger students.
Another great idea. And I understand the United Way has played a big part in this. Tell me about that.
Hugely. Well, right from the beginning, in the getting Pathways Canada to open a site in Kingston, we had to provide a lot of the operating funding ourselves. And the United Way stepped up very early and has continued to provide support from Kingston to Pathways Canada to support the site in Kingston, as well as some other significant donors and friends in Kingston, like Empire Life has been and continues to be a tremendous support. And then individual programs. So when we started this FAR role, we got some local grants, Community Foundation and the United Way, and so we're so grateful. And as Katherine mentioned, they're still supporting programming and the needs as we've come to understand what they are. The United Way has been there for us to say, this is what we do, this is what we'll do to support the community, and then that fosters itself, it grows. So we are so grateful.
And another good way, and another good reason to support the United Way.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Thank you
Yes.
so much for coming in today. This has really been, I've learned a lot. It's
Well,
been
thank
great.
you
so
for your
much.
time and letting us tell the story, because we want all of Kingston to know about Pathways, know about those students and how tremendously successful they are, and know about the United Way and how they enabled this.
Thank you.